In this video, I will be explaining about the theoretical framework Corpus Linguistics studies on genres. Corpus Linguistics is the study of language based on large collections of real-life language use, stored in a corpus or a large body of text. Corpus studies have probably existed since the 13th century, when biblical scholars were required to specify words and their citations in the Bible. Concordancing have been used a fair amount of time before computer softwares were created to ease this process. For example, in 1787, Beckett created a concordance to Shakespeare that analyzed the prose within Shakespearean literature, and this was compiled by hand. But before one can conduct a corpus-based research, a corpus must first be collected. Before the invention of the electronic corpus that we are familiar with, corpuses were originally compiled painstakingly by using slips of paper. Some examples of pre-electronic corpuses compiled by hand includes the first English dictionary created by Samuel Johnson in 1755 and the Oxford English Dictionary in the 1880s. Punch card technology in the 1950s helped in corpus research by allowing concordances searches that are able to analyze 60,000 words every 24 hours. It is only in the 1980s and 1990s, with the increase in computing power, the rise of the internet, and faster download speeds, that corpora as a tool for linguists became viable. The use of corpus linguistics includes the empirical analysis of language and the provision of better definition and description of language. However, beyond description, corpus linguistics can also be used to answer broader research questions such as literary styles, pragmatics, forensic linguistics, and discourse analysis. It has thus become a very useful research tool. Text categories are very often found in modern corpora. For example, the London Learned corpus is structured in terms of text categories such as face-to-face conversations, telephone conversations, etc. Mikase is structured in terms of text categories such as lectures, labs, or dissertation defenses. And there are many other more examples of different corporas using genres. It is thus not surprising that many corpus-based research attempt to analyze the linguistic differences between each of these text categories. Genre is defined by the linguistic characteristics that are used to structure complete text. This means that to answer the question, what genre is this piece of text, we have to look at conventional language features that categorize a text into a particular genre. For example, a scientific research paper as a genre must have an abstract, main body, and a set of references. By generalizing text based on genres, we are able to observe linguistic variations between the different registers. We can also analyze linguistic features within a register to describe, among other things, discourse functions or the target audience of the register. Now, let's take a look at some examples of corpus-based research on genre. In 1952, C.C. Fries worked on a corpus of 250,000 telephone conversation words and was able to conclude that the words "oh," "well," "now," and "why" are appropriate grammatical response utterance units that people use in telephone conversation. In 1991, Totti found that people tended to use syntactic negation, such as "he could find no words to express his pain" in spoken speech, instead of analytic negation, such as "he couldn't find any words to express his pain," which are used mainly in written speech. Diachronic studies of language features could also take into account register differences. For example, in 2004, people looked at historical changes of the use of modal features across speech and written registers. The great thing about Sketch Engine is they contain numerous amount of corpuses which we can use if you want to make a comparison between genres. So here, if we type in English, there are 91 corpuses that we can choose from. They contain general corpuses such as the British National Corpus and also much more specialist corpuses. For example, in COVID-19, corpus dedicated to COVID-19 and the environment. So let's say for this simple research, we are doing a comparison with the use of modality markers such as maybe, ought to, or should. And we do a comparison between a general corpus, which will take the British National Corpus, and maybe let's do a comparison with, okay, we can do a comparison with journals, and what we should expect is there should be a much less use of modality markers in the academic journals. So now let's take a look. Maybe, and what we find here is that there are 89.26 use of the word maybe per million token, which translates to 0.008926% concordance. And now let's take a look at the journal, which was somewhere here. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so there are only 6.59 use of the word maybe with every million tokens used. So thus we can conclude that there are a lot less modality markers such as maybe used in academic journals compared to in general.